starting with process number 4, virtual reality. So I'm going to read this out and then we'll practice the process. This is page 167 on Ask and Is Given. When to use this process? When you're feeling good and you want to practice the vibration of allowing. When you find yourself remembering a pleasant experience and you want to extend the feeling longer and even move it to a better feeling place. When you have extra time and spend it in a pleasant way. Okay, thank you for muting yourself. Current emotional set point range, fluctuating between joy at the top and boredom, which is sort of 8 on the bottom. Remember, you live in a vibrational universe and all things are managed by the law of attraction, and you get what you think about whether you want it or not. Because whenever you achieve vibrational harmony with something, because you are giving it your attention, the vibrational essence of it will in some way begin to show up in your life experience. So you could say that the universe responds to your vibrational offering, to your point of attraction, to the thoughts you think, and to the way you feel. The universe is not responding to what has been manifested in your experience, but instead to the vibration that you are now offering. The universe makes no distinction between your actually having $1 million and your giving thought to having $1 million. Your point of attraction is about your thoughts, not about your manifestations. This virtual reality process is not one where you try to fix something that is broken. It is one where you deliberately activate a scene in your own mind that causes you to offer a vibration matching the scene you have activated. And as you practice visualizing pleasant scenes in your mind, these good feeling vibrations can then become your new set point. Most are presenting the majority of their vibrational offering in response to things, people, and conditions that they are observing. And so the lives of most people continue to unfold very much as they have been, with no significant improvement from day to day. This is because there's not much thought being offered that is much different from what has already been experienced. However, the game of virtual reality will change that, because an application of this process on any subject of your choice will cause your vibration to move far beyond where you are currently standing. Since the universe responds to your vibration and not to what you are living right now, amazing things can now begin to flow into your experience, even though they've never done so before. The thing that we see the most commonly trips you up is that in the contrast, which is necessary and valuable to help you give birth to a rocket of desire, often there's an activation of many kinds of jumbled energy. Usually, in order for you to know that you want something, you have to pretty well have chewed on details or events that have helped you know what you do not want. In other words, when do you speak most clearly about wanting to be well? Usually when you're less than well, correct? When does your strong desire for more money really kick into high gear? Most likely when there was not enough money. When you are confused, that is when you want more clarity, right? When you're overwhelmed, isn't that when you want more serenity? And when you're bored, isn't that when you want more stimulation? Remember, the creative workshop process comprises 3 steps. 1, ask. That is easy, you do it all the time. 2, answer the asking. That is not your work. Source energy does that. And 3, allow. Be in the receiving mode of what you're asking for. It's important that you realize that steps 1 and 3 are different. When you are focused upon or praying for something you really want or need, often you're not a vibrational match to the thing you want. Instead, you're a match to the absence of it. When all the bills all come at once, there's not enough money to pay them, and you feel frightened and fearful and say, I need more money. Or you try to use more positive words such as, I want more money. You're doing step 1. You're setting forth your desire, but you're not in step 3. So you're holding yourself apart from what you're asking for. You're continually asking. You cannot stop asking. Contrast is evoking the desire from you. Your real work is to find a way to be in the receiving mode. It is similar to wanting to receive a satellite or radio signal. To do so, you have to set your receiver on the same wavelength as the transmitter, or you're going to get static. You're not going to get a clear signal. In like manner, you recognize the alignment of your transmitted and received signals by feeling the alignment of your emotions. In other words, when you are out there in that ragged place where you're feeling frazzled and frustrated or angry and hurt, you are out of alignment. We want you to relax and not be so hard on yourself when you find yourself in a place of negative emotion. Negative emotion is a good thing, and that is letting you know that some tweaking is required in order for you to be in harmony with who you are. If you're really out of sync, in other words, if you can really feel that you're not in a good feeling place, then a more soothing process that we would recommend would be that of meditation. Because when you quiet your mind, you stop thought. And when you stop thought, your vibration automatically rises. Of course, if you can find something to focus upon, something that you can easily appreciate, then the rampage of appreciation process would be an even better one because you can do it under all conditions, no matter where you are. But this process of virtual reality will help you in two specific ways. You'll become accustomed to the way non-resistance feels, so you'll recognize when you have moved into resistant thought at an earlier stage, when it is easier to move back out again. And in every moment that you are in a state of non-resistance, the law of attraction will be responding to you in a positive way. Abraham speaks to us more about the virtual reality process. Virtual reality is a process where you get to choose everything about this moment in time, just like a director in a movie would do. To begin this process, you'd first decide, where does this scene take place? Choose a location that feels really good to you. It could be a place that you visited, heard about, or seen in a movie, or even imagined. Is it indoors or outdoors? What time of day is it? Is it morning, afternoon, or evening? Is the sun just coming up or going down? Is it broad daylight? What does the air feel like? What is the temperature? How are you dressed? Who else is there? Choose something that feels good to you. It does not matter if you are alone or with someone else, but it is important that if you choose to bring someone else into your virtual reality, that it feels good to have them there. What kind of mood are you in? Are you laughing? Are you sitting and quietly contemplating? Once you've set the scene, you can imagine that you might say to each other, the purpose of this virtual reality process is to cause you to activate vibrations within you that put you in the place of allowing your well-being. So you would not create a virtual reality where you build your new house with a leaky roof and then bring repair people into your virtual reality to fix a leaky roof. You would not put up ugly wallpaper and then bring someone in to replace it. In your virtual reality, you can make it precisely the way you want it to be. Do not use this process to try to improve a specific existing situation, because in your attempt to fix something, you will bring the existing negative vibration into your virtual reality. And in doing so, you will lose the power of the virtual reality process. Nothing is more important than feeling good. There is no reason that well-being is not pouring into your experience in precise detail in response to all of the things that you have identified that you want, other than the fact that you are in a bad mood or are angry or worried about something. This exercise of virtual reality will help you train yourself to feel better more of the time. And like working a muscle, the more you do it, the better it works for you. Esther once practiced this game of virtual reality while she was driving the big bus she and Jerry travel in. She discovered that it worked best for her to get into the scene quickly, bring herself to a place of feeling really good, and then get out. If she stayed too long, she would get too practical and try to reform people or fix things. But when she would just decide where the good feeling place was going to be by sticking something that made her heart sing, by picking something that made her heart sing, deciding who else was going to be there, identifying what kind of mood they would be in, and then just speaking a few words of dialogue and getting out, it felt wonderful. We would encourage you to play this game when you are driving, standing in a line, or lying in your bed. Or you could even just set some time aside to do it. As you create these scenarios that make you feel good, you activate a vibration that does feel good, and then the law of attraction matches that vibration. There's nothing more important than that you feel good, and there's nothing better than creating images that cause you to feel good. When Esther, as she was driving, would think about what the air felt like, sometimes she would give it just a little humidity. Sometimes it would be so dry that it would feel good as it blew across her body. Sometimes it would be 90 degrees with no humidity at all. She thought of every pleasant combination of temperature, humidity, and time of day that she could think of. And then she would bring lovely friends to come and play with her, and they would all have all kinds of wonderful experiences. She got so good at virtual reality that she wanted to stay longer, because when she played this game, she could control everything about everything. Every thought that feels bad is bad. The universe does not know or give attention to why your vibration is what it is at any moment. In other words, the doctors could have diagnosed you as being disease-ridden yesterday, and today you could be driving down the highway like Esther did, in some sort of fantasy virtual reality. In that moment, there would be no representation of any disease within your body. And if you could maintain that vibration more than you maintain your awareness of the disease, it could not remain in your body. It is only there because somehow, without knowing it, you've chosen thoughts that are a vibrational match to the essence of the disease. Every thought that you have chosen that is a vibrational match to disease feels bad when you think it. It feels like anger, frustration, resentment, blame, guilt, or fear. Those thoughts are not good for you. And you can tell they are not good for you because they feel bad when you think them. And in the same way that touching and feeling a hot stove hurts, feeling negative emotion hurts. Something that you lived a long time ago that is not active in your vibration, or something that you lived yesterday that you're not thinking about right now, does not have any vibrational weight in your point of attraction. None whatsoever. So you do not have to rid yourself of all negative thoughts. Sometimes, as you're interacting with others, you will hear, see, or smell something that triggers a vibration within you that does not feel very good as it is activated. And that is the time for you to say, oh my goodness, oh, my guidance system is working. I can feel that there's something activated within me that's not serving me very well. Because in the activation of this vibration, there's some resistance within me that is now disallowing the well-being that would have been there otherwise. So that is the time to choose a thought that feels better. And if you have practiced virtual reality, then it will be very easy for you to reach for a thought that feels better. But if you've not been practicing, then when you're in the middle of a negative thought, you do not have anywhere positive to go. So you just have to wait until that thought peters out. Another example of a virtual reality process. The more you practice the process of virtual reality, the more you'll be practicing the vibration of no resistance. The more you practice the vibration of no resistance, the better you will feel. And of course, the things that you want will now easily begin to flow into your experience as well. For example, imagine the following scenario. The place, a lovely white sandy beach. It's wintertime, where the weather is delightful. It's 70 degrees with scattered clouds and the air feels wonderful on my skin. I have no shoes on, so I'm enjoying the feeling of the cool, clean sand under my feet. My clothes are loose fitting and very comfortable, and I feel very good in my body. And I'm lazily walking down the beach, feeling strong, happy, and secure. My 5-year-old granddaughter is with me, and she's loving this glorious day as I am. She's glad to be with me, but she does not seem to need me to entertain her. And I'm enjoying watching her happy, self-empowered activity as she runs, digs in the sand, and enjoys this lovely beach. I'm very glad that we've come to this place. It was a very good choice. My granddaughter runs up to me holding a shell that she's discovered, and with a gleeful, sweet voice and bright, sparkling eyes, she says, Grandma, I'm so happy we're here. Thank you for bringing us here. And I tell her, you're most welcome, sweet girl. I love being here with you. Now, this is a good time to get out. Worrisome or thrilling, your visualizations are matched. In Tucson, a dear friend gave Esther a windshield repair kit. And Esther thought, I wonder how it works. She read the instructions, thought, this is a wonderful thing. And every time she picked up, she thought, what an ingenious thing this is. So she and Jerry were on the road. In about 10 minutes, a truck swiftly passed them, causing a rock to ricochet off the windshield of their motor coach. Almost immediately, Esther got to experience the need for windshield repair that she had been visualizing. No matter whether you worry or rejoice in your virtual reality, you set up a vibration that the law of attraction matches. Someone said to us, Abraham, I have a hard time visualizing. When I think about going to virtual reality, it's just sort of a blank place for me. I don't know how to do this. And we said, can you remember events that have happened? If you can remember, then you can do virtual reality, because none of that is right here, right now. And as you're remembering, you're recreating it from something. So visualizing or virtual reality is no different. It is conjuring, but with a singular intention of pleasing yourself as you do so. As you practice this process and stimulate your imagination more, you will not only find the process to be a delightful, good feeling way to spend some time, you will discover that your dominant vibration on a myriad of subjects is changing, and your life experience will now begin to reflect these wonderful improvements. Comments, questions?
Well, thank you for reading that. That was very helpful for a lot of people. Yeah, virtual reality is a bit tricky sometimes because without a lot of practice, you find it very easy to slip into something negative or something unwanted. So this virtual reality is something I need to practice, but it's a very nice idea.
Mhm. One of the things I liked about is that it doesn't have to be long. So a quick little, I am looking forward to my walk tomorrow and just having a lovely conversation and a beautiful environment with all colors and leaves, and it's like, done, next.
Yeah, it is nice that it needs to be short, and it's also nice that it doesn't need to be based in reality. Like you said, if you bring someone in, that can be somebody you know, or it could be someone you completely invent. You could base that somebody on a movie character or a book character.
Yeah.
So, and it is good that it's short, because then you can go from your walk to your shopping to making dinner to anything and everything.
And things that might be a day out, or things that might be 6 months out, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, or even if you want something in your life and you're feeling in a good positive space, you can focus on that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Any comments from anyone else?
Phyllis, Cheryl, Nicole, Catherine.
Well, I know for myself, I can just think back to when I was on my paddleboard this summer. That will set me in a good, that sets me in a good vibration, just sitting on the paddleboard, feeling the waves and the sun and the breeze. And yeah. Or even also when my 2 children come, they're 25 and 23, and we always go for a hike in the woods whenever they come. So there's that also, that I'm who I'm with, and I can imagine the woods. And right now with the leaves, the other day when we were scrunching, the leaves, of the sound of the leaves under our feet, and sun through the trees, and breeze, and laughing with them. And yeah, I've got a couple for sure that will help me to change my mood if needed.
Phyllis, Nicole, Catherine, any comments you want to make before we dive in and start brainstorming and practicing?
No, not really at this time. I find that when I do the virtual reality stuff, it's wonderful, and then I very often get conflicted about real physical reality. Like there are viruses, and there are weaponized viruses, and there are petrochemicals, and there's radiation, and there are pesticides, and we live in a pretty polluted world. And I like to believe that like what I eat really wouldn't matter, that things are spiritual to physical.
Right.
But I have a hard time ignoring physical reality, in real life. And the more I give my thoughts to those real things, the more I'm creating problems on the physical level. But isn't there a physical reality? Like you wouldn't pour Coke into your fish tank.
Right.
We're spiritual beings in a physical body, but yet I know people will say, oh, it doesn't matter what I eat. It matters what I believe about it. And I'm like, I have a hard time with really adopting that.
Bruce Lipton said something to the effect that as much as there's the contents inside the Petri dish, there's still the Petri dish. You're going to start with a clean Petri dish. And I think for me, because I see my body as a temple and I want to give my body all that I can give it, I'm going to be conscientious about what I eat and drink, and I'm going to have a shower. But I think the biggest thing is I'm not dwelling on that. And if I'm at a wedding, I'm officiating at a wedding, and they're like, oh, have a piece of cake, I'm going to have a piece of cake. So I'm going to allow the context of the environment or the ease of something to say, I'm just going to indulge myself here and know that it's okay because it's not my norm. I'm normally conscientious about what I eat and lifestyle or whatever. So if I'm sloth one day and not exercising, I can forgive myself because the other 5 days of the week I am. So I think it's more the coming from a place in those environments where, yes, there is the reality of pesticides and bacteria, but not being OCD about it. Yes, you're going to wash the dishes and clean the counter. And I think if it's a thought that comes in of, oh, I'm going to do the dishes, or I'm going to buy this organic food because I know it's been properly nourished and is good for me. It's a quick thought, and it's not the dwelling dynamic of kind of going to OCD world.
Yeah, I have very similar thoughts and beliefs, but yeah, I've met people who are severely ill and in pain and like undergoing multiple surgeries when their bones dissolve, and they're taking pain medications, and they insist that they're not suffering, but when I'm around them, I feel like they are.
Yeah.
I feel that intuitively.
Yeah.
I feel like some people throwing up this pink cloud and just focusing on creating the life they love.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that is real. I just have a hard time really wrapping my head around it. I'd like to believe it's real. I mean, I've known stories about people like Michelle Wright. She works directly with nature intelligences that bring everything into form. And she's held a cucumber in her hand and watched it turn into a zucchini and watched it turn back into a cucumber. So I know these things are real. I'd really like to be living that way, but I have a hard time reconciling the two sometimes. I do feel that spending time creating the life I love and the radiant health I want and those sort of things are wonderful. And I do that every day. And the biggest part of it is the emotional journey that Abraham talks about.
Yeah, I think as long as you're in the inquiry of how could I do this one day, you will eventually get pulled into that experience. Right. Whatever that experience is, we know whether you're seeking, a new romantic partner or more wealth or more friendships. It's like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if, or I wonder how this could, that inquiry of.
Yeah, and just holding that. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
And things just sort of, start to surface.
Yeah, the universe conspires and different synchronicities happen. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I'm sometimes amazed at how it conspires and pulls things together. And even with the sort of sometimes there's a process, I've mentioned it to you guys before, it's called chemicalization. Catherine Ponder talks about it. And it's sort of like the collapse of the crash. And it's sort of alluded to in this piece I just read, where things have to go wrong so that you get the clarity of what you're wanting. But sometimes in the process of purging, it's like if you've got a closet that's got stuff jammed into it, you got to look at the mess to get it sorted out and cleaned up. So it's when things are collapsing and around you, to celebrate that as a part of the purging process so that you can clear to move forward.
Great.
So so for me, for today, I'm inclined to just brainstorm, offer up your 10-second, 30-second little thing of, oh, I'd love to have this in my world. I'd love to be doing this, and we'll just kind of keep sharing little things that we want in our world. You're welcome to write anything down if you want to write things down of like, oh yeah, I want to go on a hike. I want to, buy a new car or whatever kind of thing that happens. We can just, discuss that. And so that's my thoughts around practicing this process. Anyone have any other comments or thoughts or ideas on how to practice this process?
That sounds good to me. I just want to share what just happened when I pulled up to my destination. I was dropping my daughter off at hockey, and she hopped out the car, and I just helped her with a bag at the door. I was out of my car for 5 seconds, and during that time, a black cat at the rink, I don't know where he came from, hopped into my car, and now he's sitting on my daughter's blanket, sleeping, curled up. I have no idea where this cat came from. And I know that Esther talks about cats and their vibrations and how they want to be around people that vibrate higher, and they want to bring healing and peace to people, which is why they sit on people and purr to match the vibration. But now I have this black cat like sleeping right behind me in my car.
In your car while you're parked at the arena.
Yes, yes.
I opened all the doors to let him out and he will not leave.
No, I think he wants to stick around for the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Anywho, yes, we can continue now. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you for that, because it's one of those things where sometimes I have my own little coincidental moments and things, and I'm like, am I weird? Like, what is going on in my world? Or how do I explain this to other people? Because they're just not going to get it. So it's nice when you can click with people and they're like, oh yeah, I get it. This cat's coming for a visit or wants to come home with me or whatever, right? So yeah, you might be putting signs up around the arena saying, you know, you may have a new member of your family. Who knows? So yeah. Okay, let's take a deep breath, and those that want to have their camera on, of course, can have their camera on or off or whatever the case may be. And let's just sort of brainstorm, you know, what do you want in your life? You know, well, I have a phone call to make, and I want to probably on Monday or Tuesday, and I want to borrow my this venue, and I'm hoping that they will say yes and be supportive and give me access to the venue that I need for an event I'm going to have. And I just want them to just sort of step up and graciously grant me that space free of charge, and you know, support me in what I want to create. So that's something I'm going to you know, work on this week.
That sounds nice. Right now we're having some fall weather, which is rainy and windy. So I'm thinking along the lines of suitable clothing that feels comfortable to wear, but also keeps you warm and dry, clothing that's easy to move in, and something that will dry off quickly. That's always nice when things dry off quickly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I love having an ample closet where I can just kind of go in and pick what I want and desire, you know, to whether it's comfy lined jeans or turtlenecks and warm, cozy sweaters for the fall.
You know, I also like having a spot to put all your outdoor stuff when you come in, instead of trying to shove everything into one closet or one spot. It's nice to know that I can hang these wet items here for a while till they're drier, or maybe just until the season's over. So that's nice.
I am really looking forward to seeing some of my friends and giving them hugs.
Mhm.
I love that my business is really moving to the next level, and I'm loving that I have a couple of trips coming up that are going to present more opportunities. I have 2 back-to-back trips coming up next week, and I'm really excited by what they're going to bring me.
Excellent.
Yes. Speaking of trips, let's just take a trip. Anywhere.
The I had some new I'm picturing some new clients coming into my circle, which was really good to being able to work with some new people and have some fresh engagement.
I'm picturing a nice, enjoyable meal when this is over.
I love that I'm so focused on my working out schedule right now, and I'm doing 75 hard and it's going so well. I'm so motivated by it, and I love how my body is changing, and I feel so mentally strong.
Yeah, I love that sense of clarity when things are falling into place, and whether I'm writing something and the words are coming together, or I'm speaking something, and I just love that clarity, that of a clear thinking and quick decisiveness, where I can make decisions quickly and smoothly.
I love that my home remodel is coming together, and we're adding a lot of finishing touches, and it just feels so much more like a home. It's so cute now, and just adding the colors and textures that I'm bringing in just looks good and feels good. And I'm super excited to work on the bathroom and the office. That's my next project.
Yeah, I love all the possibilities out there when you're doing a home remodel or redecorating or reorganizing. So much wonderful stuff to choose from.
I am envisioning I have some repairs. So I'm envisioning this tap working in my house, and my kitchen smoothly working, and all the drawers functioning properly, and having things work well, and having my house really well maintained. The grass cut impeccably, and the leaves taken care of, and snow taken care of for me, and just having it all really well taken care of. Supportive network of people to assist me promptly and quickly.
Yeah, that sounds nice too.
And I'm picturing lovely dinners with a man I'm dating, and just outings and just good conversation and sense of support, and that they're in my corner to assist me in my projects and goals. Good camaraderie with friends. Just at times when you walk into an environment and you've got, whether it's new friends and old friends, and it's just that ease of connection and camaraderie, and the lightness of the conversation, and the respect that comes through from the conversations, where as you share ideas and discuss current events.
Yeah, and related to that, and envisioning nice visits with family members, especially ones you haven't seen in a long time. Just imagine everyone coming together and having a really good time, talking and laughing and getting caught up.
I love getting into my car, when the engine just turns over easily, and the heated seats are there, and it's comfy warm, and it's clean, and it's well maintained, and just sort of purrs quietly, and just you feel comfortable and safe, knowing that it's going to get you where you need to go.
Yeah, I often have conversations with my car before I go on long trips or even short trips, in anticipation of what's going to happen. And thank the car for getting you there safely and getting you back safely, and being able to transport this and carry that. And so, yeah, I like to have conversations with my car.
I love my family. I love hanging out with my kids, and I love how funny my husband is, and how, just when we're together, it's just so much fun. I just never know what's going to happen next. And they just really fill me out. Like, I really just enjoy you know, the people that live in my home. They're just amazing people, and I just feel really blessed and happy hanging out with them.
I am. I love having great business relationships with people that you can connect well with, whether it's a short task, with the cashier or teller at the bank or something, or some other store, or whether it's longer, more involved relationships with financial planners or people they have an ongoing relationship with, and it's just nice when you just have that harmony and that synchronicity and that respect, and they can understand your goals and objectives and support you to get done what you want to get done.
Yep, very nice, very helpful.
And I love just stepping into a hot shower and just feeling that warm water and fluffy clean towels, and just have that space of minute of comfort.
Mhm. I just imagine myself going into a store and trying on an item of clothing that just fits perfectly. Well, yep, this is what I need. This is what I want.
I love just going to my mailbox and finding something in it that I wasn't expecting.
Mm.
Some card or something that is there to show up for me.
Yep, mailboxes are fun. I sometimes get excited when the new flyers are coming out. Again, so many possibilities, so many ideas.
Phyllis, Cheryl, anything? I love settling in for a good movie. And you just sort of kind of catch the headlines. You know it's gonna, you just sort of comfy, blanket on the lap.
Yeah, I did that a few days ago. I don't remember what movie I was watching, but I was just in the mood to watch a movie. The choices came up. I said, I'm going to watch that one. It was just wonderful. Just sat for a couple of hours, getting caught up in their world and my world, and just really relaxing and enjoying it. And now I'm seeing more advertisements for movie and theaters, so you can imagine going into the theater again to see a movie.
I really do love a good movie, you know, like you think of all the movies you watch, and some of them, you know, are just really like just grab you and they're amazing. You just don't want them to end because they're so good, or you read a really good book and you like want to slow down at the end because you just don't want it to finish. And being able to just curl up and really absorb it and take it in and enjoy every second of it.
I love dancing. Just being on a dance floor and feeling the music around me, and connecting with the people I'm on the dance floor with. I love kind of walking into a shop and finding things that I'm looking for, or just it's like, oh, here it is. Finding things on sale, and on discount or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, I love a good deal.
Mhm.
Especially a vacation deal, somewhere really cool to go to, and it's an amazing deal.
I just have this image of kind of walking on a hot, sandy beach, and that beach that just kind of goes and goes and goes.
Yeah. Yeah, those are nice, those beaches. I'm going to go to one of those black beaches I see advertised. Never been to a black beach before.
Have you seen those pink beaches?
Yeah, they may have been pink. I have seen some beaches that don't look quite sand colored.
Yeah, I think there's one called the Pink Beach. I think there's one somewhere in the Caribbean, and then there's one maybe in Australia.
That sounds intriguing too. Pink beaches, black beaches, sand colored beaches, white beaches.
Yeah, white sand with that clear turquoise water.
Mm.
One of the things I love is our vision is like when you go to check your bank account, you haven't checked in a while or whatever, and you're like, oh, there's more money here than I thought, or there's more opportunities. You check your investments, and it's like, oh, they're up, they're growing.
Yeah, I love that feeling when you look at your bank account, you're like, oh, that's a nice surprise.
So for myself, I was thinking of going through a divorce right now, and my ex owes me close to $13,000. So I was first thinking, visualizing myself in the courtroom. But then now I think, I don't know if your opinion, I'm thinking, oh, there might be too much. I'm thinking more of thinking, visualizing the final result. I think, like, I have the divorce paper in my hand. Yes, and I have the check for $13,000. That's right. I think that's what I.
Yeah. I like the idea of jumping to the end result that you ultimately want, and then trusting the universe to figure out that maybe there's a different way of getting there, with or without the court date. But just
okay. Yes.
Like,
yes. At first, that's what I was sort of.
Yeah.
Was being in the courtroom, and I feel great. I'm going, oh well, I might not be feeling. That might be hard, a bit more difficult. The challenge. So
the other thought that you might want to step into, and I don't know the dynamics, but you kind of picture yourself at your child's wedding or something 5 years, 10 years from now, and getting those accolades from your ex-husband, whether it's sharing a hug or feeling like you're there in partnership and friendship, and them saying, hey, you did a good job as a mom, you did well, right? And then so that there's that harmony in the relationship. And although you might not feel it now, but to kind of put that thought out there for whatever window of time down the future makes sense for you.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Because when I think of certain conflicts, people that I have a tense relationship with, it's like, it's like, how do I want this resolved? Whether somebody replaces them or something else. That there's this an alternate solution. Or the like standing in that place of peace and harmony, comfort.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of one solution I have right now where it'll probably end up through the courts, but I have been significantly inconvenienced, and it is my goal to get a check to compensate me for that inconvenience moving forward. So that is, yeah, I want a sizable check to compensate me for my for having been imposed upon.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And I'm looking forward to having the new business cards to hand out when they're printed in a week or two. And I love watching bulbs come up in the spring. Daffodils and crocuses, and having them pop in the spring around the garden.
Yeah, me too.
Sort of walking my yard and seeing them there.
I love having my nails done. I love having fresh painted fingers and toes.
I like having a new outfit to wear.
Me too.
And I like getting dressed up. I just feel like I've got heels and a skirt and makeup, and to know I look good and feel good, and to kind of walk into a room with a sense of authority and power.
I love how authentic I am and how easily I connect with other people.
How's everyone doing? Feeling complete?
Yep.
Yes.
So sometimes depending on the process, we wrap up earlier, other times longer. And if we're feeling complete, then I will bid everybody a good day and say, let's touch base. I believe we're back on in 2 weeks. I haven't looked at the schedule in front of me. I'm going to hit the recording, pause that.